Okay. Okay. So I know Tiffany asked me to just kind of talk about my mindset, how my business changed, all of that kind of good. So I'm just going to kind of get into my story because I feel like that kind of helps you give a little bit of background. That I have never been a fit person. Okay. My family is on the bigger side. And at my heaviest, I was 220 pounds. Okay. Now, I'm not 200, I've lost 100 pounds, but me and my husband both have lost 100 pounds. So a combined total of 200 pounds between the both of us. And literally, Beachbody has changed my life 365 degrees. Okay. So I started coaching in January of 2018. Okay. And I that is like when I sold my first challenge pack. That's when I say that I started coaching. But it took you guys, let's see, October, November, December, January. So it took me 3 months to sell my first challenge pack, okay? Like, I know that everybody's like, you have high success clubs. I did not start that way. Like, I was at the bottom of the pack, just like everybody else. I started at the very low end of the totem. It took me 3 months to find my first person. But what flipped in my switch in my business is I went to something called the New Leadership Conference, okay? So once you hit 1 star, you get invited to the New Leadership Conference every single year, hosted by Beachbody. It is just for the 1 star. So it's more, it's kind of like Summit, but not really because it's a lot less people and it's more trainings. And every single top coach that talked like spoke to my soul. And I don't know if any of you guys follow Kelsey Hill, but you really need to follow her. I don't follow a lot of top Beachbody coaches like Deidre always says, and she's like, don't follow them because you get I always get discouraged following other coaches, so I don't do that. I follow the coaches on my team, and that's just that because I don't want to get sidetracked about anybody else. I don't want to get discouraged. I don't want to get my mindset wrong, but I will follow Kelsey. Like, she is the only top Beachbody coach that I follow. And she said something at New Leadership Conference that kind of resonated with me, is that she was in my shoes the year before, and then now I want to say she's one of the top 5 coaches this year in the whole freaking network, okay, above Ashley Molstead. And she was like, I was sitting in your shoes there last year, and then the next year she was speaking on that stage, and she was like, I don't have some tragic backstory, like Emily Farber has kind of she has a great backstory. Kelsey Hill's like, I don't have any of that. She's like, I've never been fat. Like, I've always been fit. She was like, but I work harder than the coach next to me. She was like, I might have, like she said, like a big transformation. She's like, but I will outwork you any day of the week. And I was like, damn, like, that's the answer. It was like, you don't have to have this awesome transformation. You don't have to have, this great story. You just have to work hard and that coach next to you. Like, that is it. And legit, I went home after that, you guys, and I was on fire. And before that, again, this was in 2020. So this was this year. I have never picked up a personal development book ever. And think about that, you guys. That's a vital behavior of a coach is what? Personal development. And before February of this year, I never picked it up. But let me tell you what happened to my business after I started reading personal development is I was just a baby 2-star diamond, okay? Last year, me and my team were a 2-star premier team. Now we are a 6-star elite team. And I really, truly believe that it's because of personal development, okay? Like, that literally has changed my whole life. And it's just random books that you guys see the other coaches in Sister Empire read. I think Kate posted a thread in Sister Empire with all of these PD books. I am more of a PD, like, I have to touch it and read it. I do listen to Trent Sheldon's podcast when I go in the pickup line to pick up my daughter. But otherwise, I pick up and I have hard copy books. Rachel Hollis, Trent Sheldon, Morning Miracle, 5-Second Rule, all of those good books. Okay, so I strongly believe in personal development. But another thing that I just went all in. So last year, October, I had my baby girl, my second baby girl last October. And when I held her, I had every intention of going back to work. I was a full-time real estate banker, okay? Like home mortgage loans. Like I did it. Like that's good money. I love my job. It's real estate. I love real estate. But when I had that second baby and I was at home with her, I wasn't leaving. I told Kyle, I was like, I'm not going back to work. And he's like, well, you have to make that money to do it. Like I don't come from a rich family. We don't have extra money. Before I even started Beachbody, we literally never went on vacation. We didn't have extra money to barely go grocery shopping. Like we lived paycheck to paycheck. I had to put that 160 challenge pack on a credit card and ask mom to pay it off for me. So coming from that, now being able to stay at home, I gave myself a year. Guess what? It's been a year. I'm still at home. I'm not going back to work. I made it work. Like Tiffany, I know I read her post. She's like, she's doing it. I gave myself 1 year, and I don't remember who it was on the National Wake Up Call. She said the same thing. She was like, I gave myself a year, and that like set it in stone. I was like, oh shit, if I'm not working, I'm not gonna make any money. I can't depend on anybody else. It's literally you are making that money. Like I had to work. I had to wake up early, work in the pockets of time when my daughter was sleeping. And then with COVID, I had both kids. My oldest is 5 home. I was like, Jesus Christ, like this is nuts. And so I had to make it work. Okay. Like there was no option B. I'm an all in type of a person. And so I was like, I have to make this work. And really, you guys, all I did, and I appreciate if you follow us on social media, like in all of the Sprint to Sparkle groups, is the business activity track for you guys. This is the answer. If you are struggling, if you're a newer coach or even a seasoned coach like I was, I never picked this up until February. Okay. Like I had it printed out. See, you get it bound. It's so nice. And don't let these boxes scare you, okay? Like I know I don't check them off every single day, every box, but I try. And that's just all that I did differently was I started reading personal development. I started doing the tracker. I started doing everything that a coach should be doing that I wasn't ever doing. And like I said, I had my baby in October and I just went all in, you guys. Like you're either all in or you're like a hobby coach. And that's what I was previously. It's like, I'm just going to dabble and I'm just going to sign up my 5 people a month, to hit Success Club 10. And once I, went home full time, it's like, damn, that's not enough. Like you have to hit more. So literally you guys, like whatever you're thinking, whatever your struggles are, I promise that you can overcome it. And what are Thursdays? Thursdays are rank advancements day. And so I remember every single Thursday crying to Kristen Rowe, I'm never going to have my Thursday because everybody else just seems to be ranking advancing. And then here I just sit and like, what am I doing wrong? And I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing the things, but I know that I could be doing more. And so finally, all I did was get off my butt and get to work. I put my head down and I focused on my challengers. Other thing that I do with my team is we have something called On Your Ass Accountability. So I track every single one of my challengers and coaches that are in my group. So if they aren't doing their shakes, doing their workouts, they get called out in our accountability group, and nobody likes to be called out. So I track them and I pour all of my love into my challenge groups. Even if you have 2 or 3 people, pour your love into them. Make them lifers, because your lifers, girls, like they are going to be your coaches. I don't know how anybody else does it, but I have found that my best working coaches come from my challenge groups. I have never signed up a working coach just out of the blue. Like they've never reached out to me and was like, hey, I want to be a working coach. I have never had that work for me. My best working coaches literally come from my challenge groups. And that is why I feel like I'm Clara, because we all know Clara runs challenge groups, but I just try to pour all of my love into them. I don't have any kind of secret sauce or anything like that other than doing the vital behaviors of a coach. Like that is it. And reading personal development. Like I promise you guys, once your mindset is there, like your freaking business will be on fire, because we all know that we're going to hear no, we're going to get cancellations. But once you're reading that personal development, It's going to help you work through it. Like right now, every time I get a cancellation, and I get cancellations almost every single day, just I don't stress about it anymore. I'm like, okay, so I just need to find somebody else. I need to start recruiting more coaches like within our challenge groups who's showing up. Like I just started doing more of that because I wasn't. I was like, why don't I remember sitting here last year at this time was like, I have no coaches. Like literally I had to start by myself. I worked my mom's account and my husband's account. So I had to do it myself. And then I finally was like, I can't do this on my own. Like to hit elite and to hit these bigger goals, like you got to have a team of people. So finally, I broke out of my comfort zone and started recruiting to coaching. And that literally, you guys, was just this year. So that was just for 2020 that I basically sucked it up and started recruiting coaches. And that to me is the scariest part. I can invite all day, run challenge groups, but still to this day, I'm scared about recruiting for coaching. I don't know why. I just get scared about that. But not anymore.
I have a question for you. Because I always see you posting your rank advancements for your girls on Thursdays. So how do you feel like not only are you building your business, but you're getting your team fired up to push for those next goals as well? Because I love that. I feel like you, from what it seems, have like a solid foundation of emeralds and coaches who are adding to their business as well. So what do you feel, has that always kind of, is it because of the results that you're getting for your challengers that are turning into coaches, and then it's kind of like the snowball effect, or what do you feel?
I feel like it was my attitude. It's whenever I get jealous. Like I love recognition. That's why I signed up with Beachbody. Like, yes, I signed up for the weight loss, but I stayed for the community. Like I don't need the accountability groups. I'm disciplined. I'm going to work out. I'm going to eat right. Like I don't need all that. But I stayed for the community. Like I love you guys. Like I remember walking into Super Saturday and Tiffany for the first time in January of 2018. Like I had no idea who she was. And then now like we're all doing these groups together. But I feel like when people get that recognition from their coach, no matter what it is, like if they're messaging you like, hey, I lost 5 pounds or whatever, like they want to be recognized for that. They love being shouted out in my stories. They love being on flyer. Like I said, that's my love language. So I know that for them, it's like that. And every time like a new coach signs up, I'm automatically like, hey girl, you get 3 promo codes. Like, is there a friend or a family member or somebody that can benefit from this? And most of the time they don't do it right away. Like they want, like, no, I don't want to tell anybody I'm doing this. I want it to be a secret and I want to lose weight first. After that first group, like I pour more love into my new people than I do my veterans. Like my veterans know if they need me that they have to reach out to me. Like they have to talk to me, but because I'm focused on my new people because I want them to get results. And like I said, become those lifers. So for my working coaches, like I'm on their butt as much as I can be. Like if I don't see them showing up in their stories, I don't want to be a hand holder, but I feel like sometimes they need that. So like, hey girl, I haven't seen you post. Like, is everything okay? What do you need help with? But they feel that fire. Like every time, like I celebrate random things. Like if I don't have a rank advancement Thursday, I will shout out one of my coaches or even challenger that you want to be a potential coach. Like shout them out, like get them to feel that fire of our coaching community, because that was a game changer for me. When I went to that first Super Saturday with y'all in 2018, like that was it. It was game over. Like it was onward from there. So recognition on Thursday is crucial. And like I said, even if you don't have anybody to rank advance, did one of your coaches or challengers send you a transformation? Shout them out on Thursday. Like, hey girls, like I have this awesome transformation. That's planting that seed for coaching for me. And so I know that that's what has helped us, or at least my team, is getting that recognition. Like even crazy little things that doesn't mean a lot to some people, that could mean a lot to somebody. Drinking pant sizes, completing 100-day, like Samantha said in her video in the Sprint Sparkle group, somebody completing Morning Meltdown, their first ever group, like just little things like that, because that's what we should be recognizing. And I feel like Thursdays are a day to recognize anything and everything, even if it's not even a rank, you know, like we recognize ranks like 2-time emerald, 3-time emerald, stuff like that. So it might not be a Beachbody rank, but for us, that's
Yeah.
a big deal for me.
I love that. I love that. And I mean, I feel like, I feel like that's also where that community comes in too, because you're like, this doesn't have to be a certain rank. It's just you giving that celebration and pouring in so people are feeling a part, and that community and that vibe and that fire is just like continuing on. I love that.
And especially on Thursdays, like say you guys have a challenger or a coach that's struggling, shout them out. Be like, hey girl, I see you working hard. I know times are tough right now and you feel like you're struggling, but girl, we have this community, like we are all here for you. I had a girl, she missed the diamond retreat and she was just so upset. So I shouted her out on Thursday. I was like, girl, I see you working hard. And then, cause she'd messaged me, she's like, I'm quitting. Like, I can't do this anymore. I missed the diamond retreat. And I'm like, oh, I missed 3. Like, no, this is your first one. And so I was like, we ain't having that. So just always shout them out, make them feel the love from you. And I know that it's hard. And don't get me wrong, I'm not the perfect coach. I had somebody tell me a couple weeks ago that she felt that I did not let her be a part of my community, that I was awful coach, and that she wanted to switch. Bless and release, sweet girl, bye. I told her, I was like, you need to cancel your.
Uh-oh. She just got blessed and released from our Zoom. Oh no. Well, I wanted Katie to talk too, because I feel like I love how her journey has gone from being a coach and being a working coach to being like this next level. I said, you just got blessed and released from our Zoom.
Karma. My karma. I was like, see, that's what I get for talking about that girl.
Oh, that was great.
I was like, bless, bye, sweet, and then kick me off. Okay, I'm not going to say anything about that girl because that's karma for me. But what other kind of questions do you guys have? Like, what else you got for me, Tiffany?
So I feel like a lot of the coaches that are on okay, I just have to say, which I'm so proud, Hannah just signed up. Girl I met on Instagram. So exciting.
Huh?
And she signed up yesterday. And
what?
she's
on a team call? Stop. That's huge.
Yes. So it makes my heart happy. So, but I will say that a lot of girls on this call are newer in terms of whether it's new coach or new working coach, really getting their business started. So I love that you said things like, even if you don't have a team to build, or you don't have a team yet, you will, but even if you don't have a team yet, you're still in that mindset of moving your business forward and celebrating those things, whether it's a challenger or yourself or somebody else on the team, and just like getting that momentum started. And then I also like that you brought up accountability, because that is crazy that it took you that long to start accountability. I mean, not accountability, personal development.
Yeah. Not do it. I didn't believe in it. Like, I was just like, I don't need to read some stupid book to be successful. I just never did. And then we went to NLC. I was like, I guess.
Yeah, Chelsea just finished her first book, Fear is Not the Boss of You. And I love it. It's amazing. But I do think this business is such one, it's unconventional. 2, you have to have a rock set mindset, because it is so easy. And I just posted something about this in our group the other day, but it's so easy to get down of like, people are saying no, people are ghosting me, I don't have anybody to sign up, everybody already does this, like those little things that start to get in your mind, and then you start believing them. But then it's like, if you have something to knock back with, of like, no, this is a part of the process, or I need to find different people, or whatever it might be, it's just like training your mind to think in a different way. So, yeah.
And And don't be scared to try new things with your business. If you feel like something isn't working, try something else. And then if that's not working, take it to the basics. Like, don't be scared to jump outside your comfort zone. Like, I I am out of my warm market and my whatever other market. I'm literally in my cold market. So I am having to message, random people. And I have never had anybody be ugly to me like that I've messaged. They just literally say, "Hey girl, thanks for reaching out." And it's like, that's it. Like, there's nothing ugly about it. So that was for me the hardest thing, was starting to message people that I didn't know. Like, it took me forever to get out of that mindset. Like, I don't know these people. I don't know half of the coaches on my team, and now we're best friends. Like, you just get to know people. And like you said, if this Hannah like just signed up yesterday, is on a team call, and you met her from Instagram, like, that's awesome.
I
That
know.
never happens. You're so lucky.
Well, and I like that because trust me, that did not start off. I mean, I've been in the business 5 years. And so, but I think it's also too that mindset of, but I'm just going to keep showing up. I would be doing this regardless. I would literally be doing, these workouts and getting these results from my house regardless. And it's like, I know that I'm a lifer. So if I just keep showing up, hopefully people will see that it's not something, it seems, yes, it's unconventional, but it's not real.
Right.
And so I feel like if you're being real, if you're showing all sides of yourself, then people really do get to know you. And so, and then it puts a little bit more trust, like, okay, like I relate to her, or something about her makes me more curious about this. But it takes time and it takes consistency, which I feel like you're amazing at, Katie.
That's what I tell everybody, any team call. I'm like, I don't care if you're sick, you're either sick, dead, or you're showing up in your social media. And it doesn't have to be any major. If you're posting a sweaty selfie every day or posting pre-workout, that's showing up. That is letting people know that you are there. Because when people are ready to start the journey, they always reach out to me because they're like, I see you showing up every single day, no matter what the hell you got going on in your life. And I'm like, I share the good and the bad. So if you tell me, like, I'm going to let you know when I'm having a bad day, when my marriage is hard, like, we don't go into details, but I'm just like, hey, I'm struggling today. I struggle with my kids as a mom, like finding balance, like not always being on my phone. Like, I just share it all with people. And I always like people when they do fun fact posts, like, just people, 5 fun facts about you. Like, do you like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or whatever? Like, that's how you're gonna find your people. A lot of people find me because I like to cuss, and I, I yell at my kids, and I yell at Kyle. Like, I don't know. But if any advice from any of this, just take away just being consistent. Like I said, just showing, even if you're starting to get discouraged, like my coach that said, I'm quitting because I didn't get the diamond retreat. I'm like, you've lost 45 pounds. Are you really going to quit over this? And she's like, no. I'm like, you just need to take it back to the basics with coaching and why you signed up. Even if you're not signing people, you're still going to show up in your stories. You're going to do work. Like Tiffany said, you're going to do the workouts. You're going to do the things anyway. You might as well post about them. So people are still reaching out to you anyway because you're going up. So just take the scary stuff out of it. Like, take fear of rejection out and just show up you. Like, that's why you started, right? You wanted to work on yourself. So just keep doing that. And trust me, people come to you every single time. I promise you that they will.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they don't, then you're reaching out to them.
Right. That's what I do. Like, if people, they're game. I think Natalie Minnick said that. She was like, anybody who accepts a friend request from me is fair game. Like, I like that attitude. So I just kind of rolled with that. But you guys, like, seriously, as long as you're doing the 4 vitals, I promise it all comes out. And if y'all haven't read this book, you really need to. It's been a really good one. It's called Untamed by Glennon Doyle. It's amazing.
Oh, interesting. I don't think I've heard of that one.
It's good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Katie. I really appreciate it. Okay, we are going to take a picture real quick because we have to. So,
pretty sure it didn't happen.
I know some. I think Chelsea's putting her little girl down. So, Okay, 1, 2, 3. Guys, thank y'all so much for getting on. Ladies, thank you.